I'm Old Sneelock. Welcome to another episode of Old Sneelock's Workshop. Well, we're back in the bathroom and I have this much of the bathroom to finish. The trim on the floor is still the old style vinyl and I need to replace it behind the washing machine and dryer. We wanted to finish this part so that we could have something completed and then come back and finish this afterwards. So today I'm going to be taking the washer and dryer out, not completely out of the room, just back away from the wall. Then I'm going to cut away the vinyl trim and put down the new baseboard. Sounds easy, doesn't it? Well, there's a whole lot of stuff to start with. First, I got to take the door off. Got to take the door off because if I pull the dryer and washer out, it'll block the door and I won't be able to get in and out of the room. A couple of things to take care of. Accessories, things like this. Cute, but when it's hanging on the wall and you're working back there, you bump into it, knock it on the floor, then you've damaged it. Pull the plug on the washing machine, lift up the lid, drop it down in so it doesn't get lost. Actually, so it doesn't fall off and get in the way. Then you want to be really careful when you pull off the dryer plug because the dryer plug is live. Now I could go down in the basement and pull the turn off the breaker to the dryer. But if you're careful, you just pull it out. You don't want to grab a hold of the darn thing like this. I know people say, oh, you should never pull on the cord. But my thinking is, you grab a hold here and you pull the thing out. You don't get your fingers anywhere near those blades because that's 220 volts. I had a neighbor that burned his hand to the point where it was unusable. He was pulling the dryer plug out, got his finger across two of the bars, and it shorted it out, went through his arm, burned out the nerves in his arm, burned his hand, actually cooked it. So just be really careful. Matter of fact, don't do what I do, do what I say. Go shut off the breaker, make sure you're safe. Don't want to have any of you get hurt, so we'll just go with that. This is the drain. And these are the supply hoses. You want to make sure that those are off. I tend to tighten up the packing glands on these valves. That's why you saw me using a pair of pliers to tighten them, close them off. The reason I do that is when this packing sits for a long time and doesn't move, which is pretty much standard on a washing machine, you don't reach back and shut them off. Packing will dry out and you close the valve, it may start leaking. When you're ready, have a pair of pliers and just tighten up that packing. Hey, Lyd?
Yeah.
Could you bring me that blue bucket, or any bucket for that matter?
Yep.
Just as a precaution.
Is the blue one big enough?
Blue one's big enough. I just want to make sure I capture all the water that may run out of the hose.
Okay. Right here. There you go. Oh, here you go.
Thanks. Put a bucket down there so that if the hose has a little water in it, I can drain the water into that. Now I got one hose that's coming off and one hose that doesn't want to. Now this hose is at least 10 years old. It was the hose that was in the house when we bought the house, so it's probably closer to 40. You really want to change out hoses. You don't want to leave these rubber hoses just sit forever, because if you do, they will eventually break. When you're taking them off the washing machine, you want to be very careful because this valve is plastic. Used to be they were bronze or at least die cast. Now they're plastic, and if you cross thread them, they won't seal. Or even worse, if you break them. Then you have to replace the valve. That can be done. I have done it. Used to work for a company that sold washing machines and appliances. And one of my jobs was to repair appliances. So I have done the valve replacement. But it is not a fun project. Okay, with the hoses unhooked, I can move the wash machine over here. Now we have vinyl floors. You want to make sure when you move things that you're not scratching the floor. These feet on the dryer and washing machine don't cause a problem. But in your place, it's your lookout to make sure things don't get damaged. Dryers are nice and light. Okay. Now, I'm going to let Lydia come in here and clean up the mess, and then I will be taking that hose off. Not exactly sure how I'm going to do that. This brass piece here is corroded onto the faucet, and it's going to come off. It's just not going to be happy about it. Yep.
Now, don't fall.
Okay.
You have to step over it.
Yep, I will.
Okay.
Don't worry about it. It's okay. Lydia mopped the floor and got everything all cleaned up, so I can come in here and start taking the trim off as soon as the floor dries.
This video is not to be viewed by anyone under the age of 13 in the U.S. or 16 in the European Union, without the express written permission of the parents or legal guardians of the underage person. Such written permission must be on file at the local government entity in charge of enforcing the rules and regulations established by the FTC. Anyone violating these terms is admitting by default that they hold harmless the owners and operators of this channel. Any and all questions should be addressed to your local branch of the FTC.